This is Ask a Question Wednesday. This question was asked December 2nd, 2020. And Laura asked, how do we process and deal with the vicarious trauma that results from losing so many of our participants from overdose or suicide? And this is an essential question. So, vicarious trauma is how we deal with the feelings and actions of trauma that other people experience. And there's so many different things that I can say about this topic, but I want to really focus on two aspects. So, the first is establishing a way to deal with it for ourselves. And one way that I found helpful for myself is a mindfulness practice, especially heartfulness. So often with heartfulness, we start by providing compassion for ourselves and then move to providing compassion for others. So having that place, perhaps at home that's safe and secure, that I can sit by myself, with myself, begin to really focus that compassion and care and concern for myself through a series of steps, and then begin to have enough energy to cultivate that compassion for others, and then bring that into the work that I do in the world. One thing I've realized from watching my breath during mindfulness practice is that I can only exhale as much air as I've inhaled. So if I inhale and then I release all my breath at once, then I have to immediately inhale to replenish it. If I let out my breath slowly and steadily, I can give in a more sustainable way. But regardless of the rate at which I breathe out, I always have to breathe back in order to once again exhale again and give. A person cannot continue to give what one does not have. I'm going to say that again. A person cannot continue to give what one does not have. I see it so often in people because I work in the heart centered services, and everyone thinks that it won't happen to them. And I see so many people get burned out, miserable, and changing jobs or careers all the time. So it is a law of nature that we cannot continue to give long term. In the short term, oh my goodness, we can give, 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 give. But in the long term, if we want to continue to give, we have to remember to take care of ourselves. And I'm really in a time right now where my output is lower than it has been at other times because I'm dealing with my own grief of some situations. And so I've adjusted, and as that process goes on, my output will be more, but right now it's slower, it's lower, and I'm taking a metaphorical and literal deep breaths to really replenish myself. Secondly, it is important to recognize grief, both shared grief and personal grief. And the grieving process takes an amazing amount of energy. And we only have 100% of energy to give at any one time. So if we start out up here, this is our 100% of energy that we have to give, and we're giving 75% of that to others through the service that we provide. When we begin the grieving process, our overall energy level reduces significantly. And if we are continuing to give this at the same rate and level that we were before our overall energy dropped, then a, we're going to have just a little bit left over for ourselves, and that's where burnout uh, happens really. And so really the idea and process and practice is coming to a place where when our overall energy level drops due to the grieving process, that we learn how to adjust our giving and output so that it can we're continuing to give, but it doesn't outmeasure our overall energy. And so the question becomes, how do I apply this in my life? And that's a great question. So I address this topic in many of my workshops and most definitely in the personal coaching that I do because it is so essential to learn how to take care of oneself, to find one purpose, to give that to the world and make adjustments as we go through life to continue to sustain giving that purpose and meaning to the world. I do have a few announcements. We do have a few opportunities coming up in the near future. The Power of Questions. This is a free 30-minute group coaching session on Zoom where we will explore how to leverage our fears to move into a place of empowerment. These group sessions will be held Thursday, December 17th from 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday, December 19th from 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then secondly, the intention setting seminar will include visualization, breath work, mindfulness, really in order to discover your purpose and to create an intention to align your life with that purpose so that it becomes reality. This is a powerful, powerful training, but unfortunately it'll only be 3 hours. You will surely want more. That intention setting seminar will be held via Zoom on January 16th, 2021. Can you believe it? From 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can register for both of these opportunities by visiting either www.mindfulrecoverycoach.org or by emailing me directly at info, which is info, at mindfulrecoverycoach.org.